Hey, this is Lawrence from financialthing.com. Today I'm coming to you from Hale, near Manchester. It's a little great day today. It's Bank Holiday Monday, but that never stops us here. We are coming today to visit Frazer Fernhead at the Houe Crowd. Going to talk to him today about his business, what he's up to, the state of peer-to-peer lending, crowdfunding, crowd lending, see what the Houe Crowd's up to. So come in. It's Bank Holiday Monday. Things are quiet here at the office, but I managed to find somebody who's going to give us some information and a quick tour. Say hi to Frazer.
Hello.
Did I say that right again? Frazer. Frazer, I'm sorry, Frazer Fernhead.
Frazer's a lot funnier than I am.
This is Frazer Fernhead, obviously from the Houe Crowd. And we're just having a quick chat about what's going on with the company. And we spoke about probably, I don't know, back in 2017 on the podcast about where the Houe Crowd was back then. Give me a little statistics on the company and what you've paid out so far, Frazer.
Okay, well, as I think we mentioned in the podcast, it's been going since 2012. We've raised, I think, just under 84 million to date. We've paid out on, according to my screen, 959 investments, repaid just over 24 million pounds worth of capital and 3.6 million in returns. We have about 3,500 active investors.
So tell me a little bit about some of the new things you've got going on and regarding property development now. As I understand, the Houe Crowd is doing its own developments. Just give me a quick lowdown on that.
Yeah, Frazer. So since we did our first development in January 2016, obviously Hale and I have been involved in property for many years before we started the crowdfunding side of things. And we brought on a team of people, architects, project managers, and what have you, who we work with. We're now on to our 21st development. We've had, I think, 4 or 5 developments complete and sell successfully. They've all delivered exactly what they promised to investors, and we are currently building about 180 units around the northwest, which is, we kind of specialise in places within, say, 45 minutes of the office. There are all the new projects, you know, it was a learning curve, finding the right people to work with. We now work with a very strong team of people. We've got a lot of exciting developments come up, and for me it's the way forward for the business. It's a product we control. As I said, we've got an excellent team of architects, project managers, employers agents. Everything's controlled by a fund monitor who's a quantity surveyor who acts for Houe Crowd Finance. We do everything on a fixed price design and build contract, which means the contractors are responsible for any delays or going over budget. That is up to them to sort that out. So projects are coming in on budget. And yeah, we've got a lot of exciting stuff. We're looking at 3 sites in Manchester city centre. The largest one of those is probably a £20 million project. The others are between 10 and 15 million. Mm-hmm. I think the largest development we are about to complete on is 66 apartments and 50 houses, which is in a regeneration area of Manchester. So essentially these are all done on a debt-based basis. People get a fixed rate of return, typically 10%, and they get repaid their capital as we sell the houses. Then they get repaid their interest, and basically investors get first call on everything before the developer takes its profit. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about them is, you know, with Houe Crowd Developments is its own brand in itself. It's getting a good reputation, and it means we control the product and make sure investors are looked after. There's no third parties involved who can misappropriate investors' funds or what have you. We make sure everything is very, very closely controlled.
So are you going to still continue the original purpose of the business of the Houe Crowd, which is to buy individual properties with the SPVs and the shares, or are you sort of heading towards more that development and keeping things in-house?
Yeah, I mean, that is how we started off. It's very, very time consuming and problematical to look after those buy-to-lets. So what we've done, the last 26 of those we've bought have all been on an assured rental basis where they're rented to a corporation, and that has basically wiped out the problems we used to have with managing the buy-to-let properties. And those have all delivered exactly as forecast. The rent gets paid on time, there are no problems, the corporate tenant is responsible for the repairs, so those are working very, very well. We may continue to do those, but I think as one of our plans for next year is to basically amalgamate all the buy-to-lets into one vehicle. It will depend on people voting to do that, but I essentially think it's a good idea because it will give people greater diversity. If there's 100 odd properties under one company, it will give them greater liquidity, it will give them greater certainty of returns, and also if we leverage it as well, it will probably give them a significantly better return than they are getting at the moment. So that's kind of the overall plan, I think, as far as the buy-to-let side of things goes.
There you have it. If you're looking at throwing some money into the development aspect of sort of more direct development, because you may be one of the first crowd, would you say crowd lending or crowdfunding here?
I say crowdfunding.
Property funding.
Crowdfunding seems to me to encapsulate both the equity side of things and the peer-to-peer lending side of things. It's essentially, the real benefit, I think, is, and I hope the FCA with their new kind of consultation paper don't take a hard line in regulating it, because they are suggesting that they may make it only available to high net worth and sophisticated investors, and to me that ruins the whole purpose of it, because it's incredibly difficult for the ordinary people or people with a normal amount of money to find decent investments. It really is. I mean, what are their choices? Pensions don't really deliver. As long as they're aware of the risks that peer-to-peer lending and crowdfunding operate, most people are intelligent enough to realise what the risks are. We have to be very, very clear and transparent about what they are, as does every other FCA regulated company. So, if they want to take the risk for their money and get a decent return on it, then I think that opportunity should be available to them. And it seems to me counterproductive to the whole ethos of peer-to-peer lending or crowdfunding to remove their ability to do that. So, not my decision at the end of the day, but I hope for the sake of the industry and the sake of people. So I think as an industry, the penetration into the market is so small at the moment. I would say less than 10% of people are actually aware of what peer-to-peer lending or crowdfunding is. I mean, we talk about it every day. We forget that most people don't know what it is. They don't know it's available, and they seem quite surprised and very interested in it when they do hear about it.
What's website address? Give me the website address.
The website address, well, for the main one is thehousecrowd.com, and then if people want to see what the developments we're doing, it's housecrowd-developments.com.
So are the development projects offered on two separate websites? Is it a separated website from the House Crowd website?
No, the development website is basically a showcase for the developments, but if you want to invest in them, you need to go to thehousecrowd.com.
So you do it all through thehousecrowd.com. Okay, great. So check out those websites and see what the House Crowd is up to. And Frazer is going to give us a quick tour of the office here. Now, keep in mind, everybody is gone. It is Bank Holiday Monday, so don't think this is just a shell office with nothing going on here that was just set up for today. There are lots of people working here. We want to give you a quick walkthrough tour, and so you can get an idea of what they're up to here. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. So this is the HQ.
This is my office. As you'll notice, I like my artworks.
Yeah, so he's got some artwork up here. A little picture of David Bowie on the wall, coming from your music background. So just give us a quick rundown of what.
So Diane, my PA, sits here. As you can see, we've got a very music orientated artwork around the office. All into our music. This is Nigel over here on the phone. Nigel. That's not Nigel. Nigel's upstairs.
Okay.
Our legal and business affairs, Rick Harris.
Very tidy.
Sits there. Yeah, he's very tidy-minded.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know where the lights are.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
So anyone who's called up and spoken to our customer support people, Damien and Nigel, this is where they're sitting. If you ever talk to them, you'll know and Neil, Josh and Jonathan occupy the rest of the marketing department. You can see Jonathan likes looking after his orchids. I think that those have been rescued from other people and brought back to life.
Okay.
He's very good at looking after orchids.
Always remember, make today awesome. Very important.
That's Neil's desk. Neil's gone off to Anglesey on holiday.
It's a fine choice of place to go on a holiday.
This is Charlotte. This is the bridging department office, bringing in the bridging loans.
Okay.
She's out on the road quite a lot, meeting with brokers and what have you. Nick, who's another one of our legal people. That's his little cubby hole there.
His little cell.
Yeah.
That's Nick. Okay.
And, you can guess what department this is. This is our tech and compliance department. We have a terrible diet in this office. Everyone eats chocolate biscuits all the time. I've tried to encourage them to.
Oh man.
I've tried to encourage them to bring in fruit and nuts and stuff, but it's not working.
No, terrible diet. So this is where the tech side of the back end of the website, front end of the website. This is the boardroom. This is where all the big deals are done.
Yeah, well, there's Nigel. There's Hale. That's Phil, our chairman, hiding behind a tree.
Yeah.
And that's. I'm not sure why Diane's taller than me. She's not normally.
Well, it's okay. Another tea room, very important place in British business. The house again.
This is where my dearly beloved works, in her little cubby hole. Clarissa. So those of you,
your wife.
Yep. So those of you who talk to Clarissa, this is where you can picture her sitting.
Okay. What does Clarissa do for the House Crowd?
Clarissa has had a varied role over the years. She worked as a system support. Had a system support for various investment banks. So when we started off, she was in charge of our tech and looking after investors. She still looks after the investor side of things. She helps the tech department with the website, but essentially we've given her the role of head of underwriting. She's been on a few underwriting courses.
Okay.
Trained now on the underwriting side of things. And so every time Charlotte brings a deal in, Clarissa tells her, no, we're not doing that one.
She's trying to do a bit of everything.
She looks at about 80 deals a month to pick just a handful.
Okay.
This is Sir Hale, my business partner and co-founder. This is his office. As you'll see, he likes his post-it notes, which we constantly berate him about.
Now, is Sir Hale related to anything to do with Hale, the place that we're in right now?
No,
or is that just a coincidence?
Sue Hale, which is Afghanistani, Pakistani name.
Okay.
So it is ironic because I think at times he thinks he is Sir Hale.
So what happens in here?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
This is the property department. So Emma Lakin, our head of property, sits there, and her two assistants, Sue and Jackie, sit there, and they have a very difficult job of looking after our buy-to-let properties.
Hence the keys.
Yes.
Over here. Gotcha.
And then moving through to here is again our Justin, who's head of our developments and acquiring sites, sits there. Adam, and then all along this side we've got Michelle, Jackie, Jake, who are the finance team, Olivia, our chief accountant, and that's Lewis's little spot up there. Okay. Again, he's probably hidden all his chocolate, but he's a complete chocolate fiend.
They really are.
If he even sees a chocolate, he'll snatch it out.
Look at this selection. Yeah, you even got sugar-free.
Yeah, they won't be Lewis's. So Lewis is our chief financial officer and hardest working person. He's here very early and stays very late every night. He's very dedicated.
Awesome.
And, really good at what he does.
Okay. So that's the tour.
And this is people who. This is one of our developments, Buxton View, so you can see the kind of contract program. CP UK are a good sized developer. We work with them on a number of sites, and you can see the sort of build schedule for that development. I mean, to me, the development side of things is probably the most exciting part of the business. Because not only it's kind of, I love the marketing and creative side of coming up with new products and things, but to actually be building houses, I get a real sense of pride out of that. It's just something physical, and just we walked around our first show home a year or so ago, and just to see it and all kitted out was a real sense.
You actually created something.
Yeah, it's a real sense of achievement. So I do feel very proud of that, and the fact that we are helping to get Britain building. You can see. Well, here's some of the brochures here. This is the Buckton View brochure you've just seen.
So this is the internal developments of the house crowd has been involved with.
This is 36 houses. You can see the brochures are really
very nice, very high quality.
Yeah. So really proud of those.
Okay. And that's the tour of the House Crowd offices.
That's it.
Which I'm sure is normally bustling when you're not on a bank holiday.
Yes.
So again, thank you to Frazer for showing us around. And is this the?
Oh, we've got Clarissa just arrived.
Clarissa, you get to be on the video. This is Frazer's wife, Clarissa. We're doing a quick video tour of the office here.
Right, sorry.
That's all right, you can be on
No,
it.
I've got to do some work.
She's got to do some work, but
I'm just doing the post.
happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's the tour of the office. Check out the House Crowd and the 2 different websites. And they seem like they're actually a real business. It's a good thing. All right. Well, thank you, Frazer.
Thank you.